ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕ ವಲಯದ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಂತ ಮತ್ತು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ರಂಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಇರುವವರು ಮತ್ತು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ರಂಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಂತ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಈ ಒಂದು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವೇನು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಅದರ ಮುಂದುವರೆದ ಭಾಗವಾಗಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕೋವಿಡ್-19 ಶಾಲೆಗಳನ್ನ, ಅದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾಂಡಮಿಕ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಶಾಲೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮುಚ್ಚಿರುವ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆ ಕಲಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಉತ್ತಮಪಡಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇರುವ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆಗಳು ಯಾವ್ದ್ಯಾವ್ದು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆ ಕಲಿಕೆಗಾಗಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಸೇರ್ಬಹುದು, ಈ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಬಹುತೇಕ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕುರಿತು ಮಾತನಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸದಿಂದ. ಇವತ್ತು ಆ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದಷ್ಟು ನಮ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸಿ ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣನ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಪರಿಚಿತ ವಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು CR ಅಂತಾನೆ ಪರಿಚಿತರಾದವರು. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ CR ನಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇವತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. CRದು ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯನ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಅವರು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ತಜ್ಞರು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ಒಂಥರ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಷನಿಂಗ್ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಷಿಯನ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ ಅನುಭವಗಳ ಜೊತೆನಲ್ಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣದ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವಿಷಯಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ನಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತನಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣದ, ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಕೇರಳದ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮೂಲಾಗ್ರ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಳನ್ನ, ಸುಧಾರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ತರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದಂತ ಗುಂಪಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ CR ಕೂಡ ಒಬ್ರು. ಅವರಿವತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಅದೃಷ್ಟ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ CR ಅವರು ಅಖಿಲ ಭಾರತ ಜ್ಞಾನ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಅಖಿಲ ಭಾರತ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಹಾಗೂ ಕೇರಳ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಒಂದು ಸಮಿತಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಆ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಸಲಹೆಗಾರರು ಕೂಡ ಹೌದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಭಾರತ ಜ್ಞಾನ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಸಮಿತಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ CR ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಒಂದು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿರುವಂತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ಪರವಾಗಿ, ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಆಸಕ್ತರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನ ಬಯಸುತ್ತೆ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ CR ಅವರು ಈಗ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾಂಡಮಿಕ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿಕೆಗೆ ಇರುವ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಸವಾಲುಗಳು, ಈ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನ ಕುರಿತು ನಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನ, ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯಗಳನ್ನ ಮತ್ತು ತಮ್ಮ ಮಾರ್ಗೋಪಾಯಗಳನ್ನ, ಅವ್ರು ಕಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂತ ಮಾರ್ಗೋಪಾಯಗಳನ್ನ ನಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಐ ಇನ್ವೈಟ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ CR to take over the session to talk about the possibilities and challenges during COVID-19 pandemic period, especially in on the basis of Kerala's experience and experiments. He can suggest us to go ahead with this situation. Welcome, CR. ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ CR ಅವರು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಅವರು 4 ವಿಷಯನ ಕೇರಳದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆಧಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ 4 ಇದು ಮೊದಲು ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ, ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್, ಪೆಡಗಜಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅದನ್ನ ತಲುಪಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ವಿಷಯ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್. ಈ 4 ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂತ ಥೀಮ್. ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಸಿವ್ನೆಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಈಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಬ್ರಾಡ್ಕಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ತುಂಬಾ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವೇನು ಒಟ್ಟಾರ ಶಾಲಾಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂಗೆ ಈಗ ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಇದು ಒಂದ್ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಆ ದಾರಿಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದೀವಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಸ್ ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್. ವಿ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಓನ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಗಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಗಬಹುದು, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆ, ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಒಡನಾಟ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಲಿಕೆಯ ಪಥವನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಸಾಗಿಸ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋ ವಿಷಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಮನವಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ಸರ್, ನಾನು ಅರವಿಂದ್. CR sir, namaste. My name is Aravind. I come from a village very near to Perla, Kasaragod district of Perla. I work as a teacher in the last village of Karnataka. I was very happy to hear what you said, and we as Vajra Mani sir said, we are thinking in those lines. My question is it not the right time to think about the whole education system, what is prevailing now, the year system, for an year so much of syllabus to complete, that so much of periods, and on those depending on those periods and the workload, the number of teachers on a school and the teacher student ratio. Can't we even parallelly think of a reform in our whole educational system? Because Corona has given us at least 3 months time to start thinking now. That was my question, that can we think of a change in the system? You could answer.
No doubt. We can think about anything, because as a group, our motto is that what is not, for me, the non-negotiable is social justice, equity, and inclusiveness. No child in the world or in the country or in Karnataka or Kerala, because of their social background, nobody can deny any kind of the right to education. So it is non-negotiable. But at this juncture, we have our own difficulties. On one hand, all of the world, the market is actually trying to replace the formal system of education. That is, the government, for the last so many years, they are trying to withdraw from education. So the market forces are actually will make use of this. Is the best time. This period of pandemic is the best time to operationalize their dreams. What will be the result? The majority will be out of the system. So what we can think about at this juncture, we have to understand that in Kerala also, even the CM is always saying that this is not an alternative to the formal schooling. This period, some kind of an engagement is needed for the children because of the addressing their actual psychosocial issues. Some kind of because the nature, what is the nature of the child? What is the nature of human being? We are all social beings, but because of hence we are carriers. Human beings are carriers. Any kind of gathering is actually banned because of that. That is why people are there are some people, they are always wandering here and there, because it is the basic instinct of human beings. We can't blame them. So in that way, it is the nature of the child. So how to address that nature of the child within our limitation? What you told is that the government is not supporting. Here the government is with the people. So the government is supportive. Forget about that. Without our small circle, if we develop some kind of, then people will support us. People's support is greater than the government support. Beware of that. Why in Kerala, when the government is actually, why Pinarayi Vigyan or the ministers dare to tell the people that you please do that? Because, and people cut across the political parties, even BJP, Congress, everybody, why they are actually, state-wise they will oppose, of course, okay, but in grassroots level, why they are actually competing each other to address this issue of the people? So when we, within our limitation, we have to make the limitation, convert the limitation as possibilities. That is what the COVID is telling us. make these limitations, how to convert the limitations into possibility, new possibilities within our within our strength. Don't bother about it. You can dream whichever way, but doing actions, we have to understand the ground reality. By looking the ground reality, how to bring our vision, our dream into actual field. So there, if we do that, people will recognize that, no doubt. Within our, I don't know how much it is better. Don't bother about the whole Karnataka, because it is not possible like this. Without governmental support, it is not possible. But whatever we can do, we can do. Through this process, exactly what you told is correct. But if we want to tell that education must be, or the curriculum or the syllabus must be like that, we must have our own plan. What is our plan? That is a long-term plan. You can prepare for a long-term plan. You can have a long-term vision in your mind and do what is possible. In the crisis period, we have to address in that way, to address the crisis actually, how to manage the crisis. But if we have a long-term plan, we can take elements of that plan and it is easier to link to that broader plan because now it is a crisis period. So address the crisis period and think about a total transformation, at least the suggestion, it is fine.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. I am Abhilasha from Brahmavara. Sir, thanks for your very good presentation. It made us think a lot. And we would like to congratulate Kerala government for taking proactive measures to get connected to the children. It's really nice. I have two things to ask, sir. The first one is content creation. You have told that that's actually a challenge because you told about thematic, based on theme you are going to present it for 30 minutes or 50 minutes. So have you planned any curriculum or are you following NCERT? They have given one thing that is alternate academic calendar. Are you following that or Kerala government has created any content or any curriculum? This is first question. Another one is, you have told about community centers. It's really good, sir. But one thing, as you have told already, that caregivers need to be given orientation. How are you address that problem? And another thing is that safety and security of the children at the community centers. Regarding these things, I would like to know, sir.
The first thing is that it is very simple because we have our own curricula, we are not following. We will follow the NCF 2005. That is the broader frame for the country. The content, etc., or the textbook, etc., up to 10th standard. In 12th standard for science and these things, we are following NCERT textbook or some 8 subject. Otherwise, all other subjects, we have our own curricula, our own syllabus, our own textbook, our own materials. Nothing to do with any NCERT thing at this juncture. So we are not following anything. We are not behind NCERT at this juncture, and we are not for that also because of many reasons also. We don't know from next year what will come in the textbook about Ganapati, all those kind of things. Because we have faith in secularism and science. So we are not following that NCERT thing. It is clear now. Secondly, we are now at this juncture. The basic. What is the basic educational principle from concrete to abstract? Concrete textbooks are concrete to the children and the families at this juncture. And the textbooks are actually prepared, keeping in mind that there is a teacher and some students are there, and some kind of a support scaffolding will get. Each and every child will get some kind of a scaffolding inside the class if the child can't get to the point. So the teacher will help or the students. Some kind of a collaborative action or discussion. These kind of things are not possible at this juncture. So, from the text, we want to come out of the textbook, but it is familiar to the children as well as the parents. Now, slowly, we are actually coming out. It is basically doing with in the shooting center in one shooting centers. What we are doing, we are inviting teachers, 4 or 5 teachers. Not this teachers means not in a lab. Some teachers, and they will write the script. Shooting it is just like a cinema actually. The good teachers, the so-called good teachers, won't perform in the in the visual classes because they have their affinity with the children. If you have this skill in acting, then you will succeed in the classroom. Whether you are not that kind of a committed teacher, but if you are committed to that actions and you can understand, you can deliver the script. So script writing is very important. Very, very important is script and the visuals, selection of visuals, etc., is very important. So that a group of teachers of 4 or 5 in the diet faculties, they will sit together and they will develop based on some kind of not scientific way of concept mapping, some kind of a way of concept mapping. They are actually slowly taking from the textbook to some kind of a theme now. There is not a precise, it is not scientifically developed, no. I can't claim that it is scientifically, no. It is with the help of teachers. That is why we have enough space. That is what I am saying. Usually these teachers won't get any space in SCRT. Now, because of pandemic, their ability are actually, we are respecting, we are utilizing the local teachers' expertise for developing these kind of materials. After COVID, we can get, I think, not 200, 500, a team of 500 teachers, and new teachers that we can make use of in the curriculum or in the later courses. That will be an asset for us in one way or in another way. And finally, there is the COVID protocol. It is because this COVID protocol. It is because of the literacy level of the people. Literacy has its own impact in all these kind of things. No, we have these 90 people have invested at this juncture. It is not a fine morning. Some people in Trivandrum, no, it is not that. There's a long social history for having these kind of a behavioral pattern. Hello.
Hello, can I ask a question?
Surely.
Sir, Ramakrishna sir, I just wanted to say I basically come from an engineering background. And I'm very technically taught to work on these online classes on the digital modes. I have no issues. But when it comes to schools, as you said, we take the help of local teachers. What I always feel when you are trying to teach the school students, that is totally my perspective. We only have to think globally and act locally. What I exactly meant is, though the syllabus is the same, the students in Bangalore are obviously different from the students in Mangalore. So, if we can understand their interests and teach according to it, I think we can make a better impact, if I'm not wrong. So, it's not that... It's not...
Her question is a basic question actually. She want to raise a basic question. Okay, that we can hear later.
If there is no question at all, we can take her question itself. We can discuss it a little bit. What she is trying to say is in different area of even within the state, the interest of children will be different. So that we have to consider the interest and level, their achievement level and all. We have the lessons should be different. So she was saying that one type of lesson broadcasting from the center may not help. What is your opinion on this? She was thinking.
No, I exactly for that. I have no difference of opinion regarding that. I didn't understand in the way that I thought that think globally and act locally. I understood some other thing. If the meaning of the question is this, then I am fully with that. I have no other. That is why what we are doing here. You make only 20 minutes, 25 minutes a common presentation in the center from the visuals. That is only, it will function as a coordinating role only. The class teacher and the students in the nearby local centers or through any way that relationship actually help the child. Otherwise, children won't understand that, because education is a cultural action, especially for lower primary and primary level. A student of Kasaragod, the example that we are showing in Kasaragod can't understand by a student of Idiki, because the child can relate that kind of an object. That's why we are for local curriculum. So I am fully for that.
It's Arvind. So I wanted to ask one more question. We were just discussing we already almost more than 10-15 teachers have started some community-based schools in Karnataka with the BGVS support and the group. We were thinking what to communicate, what to do in those small groups, and we were discussing that it should be a main focus must be on the language learning, and the second would be the logical learning, what we call science and maths education or something. Is it not enough, or is it enough to touch only those two parts? Because what as teachers we have observed is even the child would have come to 10th standard, but because the lack of language learning is affecting his learning of his mathematics as well as science or social science. So is it not better to focus on language learning and logical learning while we are going to start these things? And I wanted to ask again one more thing, that what is the thing that is being broadcasted, or what is the main focus behind the programs which are broadcasted in Kerala through the TV channel, what you are doing? Is it the language learning and logical learning, or something else?
Now you see.
Sorry for the interruption. I request Rupa is again, she joined again. We can take her because I may be wrong.
Yeah, sorry. Because of the net issues. Because of the net issues, I was thrown out.
Sir. We are actually arguing for online. It is very tough even for doing that.
And I live in Bangalore and I have network issues. Yeah. Sir, my concern is, though the curriculum or the syllabus remains the same across the nation, since our country is filled with lot of diversity, you cannot pasteurize teachers or somebody else to go with one mode of teaching. As I was telling you, every student would have been brought up in a local way or as per the region. So it's always better to take your methodology as the region demands. That is when you can make your classes more meaningful and, of course, more impactful. Am I right?
No, 10% for me, according to me.
Yeah. Why? Because I have also done my bachelor's in education. That is what I tried it out, and it really worked. And the same has been implemented in my engineering stream also. So I always feel that much of liberty should be given to teachers, where they act accordingly with their choices. That's when you make the teaching learning process a more impactful one.
Basically, why? Because the educational theory says, what is education? Education is a process through which a child can relate what he or she learned to the surrounding. If a class 1 child, the surrounding is their locality. So you even a district for you can't impose the same material for because that is why I told that education is a cultural action. Culture means the culture determines. The surrounding actually will enlarge when the child grow up. If for a plus 2 child, sometimes the surrounding means a larger circle. For a class 1 child, it will be comparatively a smaller space. So, what I'm saying is that, once again, for a class 1, it is basically education is relating with the related to the living. For a small child, the circle is small. For a plus 2 child, the circle might be comparatively larger because there the child can think have its own abstraction, ability to abstract things. For a small child, they can relate only with only. So what I'm trying to say is that education is a cultural action. So what you were told is, I fully agree with what you have already told. Even for engineering, the way in which the child acquire knowledge universally, the way is same. But what kind of example for how to help the child to relate things, that is the curriculum, that is the syllabus, that is the selection that has to be done. In a locally, or locally means sometime for engineering students, India might have been local. So local means not restrict the term only locally. Locally, you have to take local in a broader way. For class 1 child and class engineering child, the local may vary. So I have no difference of opinion.
Sir, good evening, sir. My name is Guru Dutt, and I have a couple of questions on these type of things. So my first question is, are you people hearing me?
Yeah,
See, my first question is that, the span of attention of each child is different. And, span of attention, since it is different for different set of people, how can we sustain interest in online class? And will they survive for 30 minutes and will it enhance their learning? That is my first question. My second question is my question is that are they ready cognitively to attend these type of classes where they can understand by seeing? It's rather than learning by seeing, rather than learning by doing. So learning by doing gives hands-on experience. So here that might be missing. So how can you sustain that? And my last question is that if each child learns in his own pace, in his own way, how can we counter it through online classes, the need of the child, which is very much essential, and even the feedbacks which makes them as a continuous learner? So will it not be missing in this type of classes?
Okay. Number one, I am a believer that online classes, it will never be an alternative to the formal schools. Learning will take place. There are different factors that determine learning. The teacher factor is there. The students, the friends, the co-learners factor is there. For a class 8 child or 9th standard child, because of they are the growing period. they have their own issues. How they are tackling? They can tackle only through mutual discussion with their co-learners or their fellow students or friends, and they are tackling. Those kind of things are not possible at this juncture. So for me, online or any kind of broadcasting thing, except face-to-face interactions alone can help the child to learn properly. Now it is a pandemic period. There is no other alternative. This is not at all an alternative. I am very clearly told that this is not an alternative for formal system. Impossible, because without a human relationship, because human beings are social animals. We can learn only through discussions, debating, and chats, and all through all these kinds of things. A gadget, means sitting in front of a machine, a child can't learn anything. That is one. Secondly, if it is not interested, the child won't sit there. Why we are bothering about that? The child won't sit there. Nobody in the world can make the child to sit and see the things unless the child feels comfortable. Nobody. So don't bother about that. I have no concern about that. This is not an alternative. This is the only way. This is a coordinate we are considering this as a coordinating factor. It will coordinate because there is a purpose for the teachers. What Rupa told earlier, that the Kasaragod Malayalam and Trivandrum Malayalam is entirely different. The terminology that a Trivandrum teacher is using, the Kasaragod teacher can't understand. And here, the Kasaragod teacher who actually delivering this through this TV channel, her terminologies won't understand by the Trivandrum child. These difficulties always will be there, especially for the small classes. They can't even understand the terminology. Then how learning happened? So this is a period of pandemic. In the period of pandemic, how to address the child's need, how to engage the child. Engagement is needed, some kind of an engagement, because all the psychiatrists and the children, those people who are actually curing the child, they are arguing that we have to engage the child by utilizing the potential, the possibilities of the state. There we decided that it should be inclusive, otherwise we won't do that. So this is a visual, that's all, not more than that. And we are not going to cover any portion. We have to do all the regular teaching when this school started. I told you that each and every child's interest vary, each and every child's pace vary. Diversity is the reality of the country, and diversity is the beauty of the country. So we are not homogeneity. We will uphold heterogeneity and this diversity. So there is no other way out actually. That's why, for the time being, it is not an alternative, and in Kerala we are not thought of continuing this. But we are not against technology. We have to utilize technology judiciously. That is most important. Judicial use of technology. That is very, very important. What is judicious? That is society, the curriculum, the academicians have to decide.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Okay.
Sir, Madhu here from Mysore.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks for being with us so far, and really thankful to your visions and views regarding education and the present situation also. I have, maybe it may sound weird, but I think it is fact. I need to ask you something, like when in this pandemic situation, everything is moving backward. Economy is moving backward. Health-wise, it is a crisis time. And it's totally really a terrible condition that we are living in. What happens if a child unlearns a little bit that what we call as a textbook learn or syllabus based learn or curriculum based learn, whatever it is, if it is unlearned a bit and the child is not able to adjust or be the same in the classroom situation when everything is okay and child is back into the school, why are we so much worried about it in a present situation? Is to be worried, is it to be worried? Because I believe that child will be learning by its possible environment around a lot. Maybe we teach in the school, we teach having a curriculum or not, child will be learning using.
You see, the answer is very simple. One, if we are trying to teach the child by sitting, by making the child sit in front of a TV or a computer,
Yeah.
nothing is going to happen.
Yeah.
So that won't happen actually. But what is the thing is that what we are trying here, it is not teaching. That is what.
Yes. Yeah.
It
Yes.
is very clear. Nothing will happen if you won't teach the child throughout 1 year. Nothing will happen. We don't know whether COVID was happen.
Yeah.
Nothing will happen.
Yes. Yes. That's what was my point actually.
Nothing will happen. But what is the thing? We have to look the social context and the family context. In the family context, because of our middle class aspiration, if it is in a real village, there is no need of these kind of nonsenses. Why? Because the child in one way or other will mix together and have their own plan, will work for the plan. But now what is the middle class family? Many of the Keralites are middle class. In the middle class family, they are not allowed to go out. And the child is merely sitting in their houses, just like a house arrest. There, because of that, the anxiety, stress, and this, and the pressure, we want to give some kind of a relief for the child. That is a need. It is not educationally, it is health-wise, that is a need. That is what the doctors are saying. So, to engage the child through playways, you can provide what we are doing. We are actually asking the child to cut the pictures and paste it. That's an activity.
So activities are for the sake of child's psychological well-beingness. That's all.
That is why I am actually using the terminology engage, not teach. It is impossible. You can't teach a child in front by making the child sit in front of any gadget, mobile or anything. So it is making the child to engage things and make the child to do some kind of an activity. And what we are asking in class 1, what we are telling, you please observe your surrounding. You can see very many birds. Tell something, observe the bird and tell that to your mother. That is an activity. That is an activity that then the child, because somebody told the child to see the bird usually and see the bird in this way. If you look the bird in this way, if you look the bird in this way, and if you look the differences of birds, different birds, it is an activity for a class 2 or class 3 child. And another thing, what we are actually telling you, please do some kind of a vegetable garden in front of. If you have land, do that and observe that and try to look that. And a class 4 child, you please write a diary. No, who knows that whether the child. Now that the reality is that the child is actually doing that. It is not relating any textbook. So these kind of an activity, if you in a pleasantly, if you tell the student what the child can do, cut across, that what exactly each and every child have different learning pace. So make the child to engage these kind of engagement and write a diary. What is wrong in that? So in that way, give some kind of an experience, some kind of, and make the child in the learning path. That's all.
So if in this context, if this doesn't happen and a child is forced for a long term classes through online technology utilization,
we won't oppose it. We will oppose that.
should we? I think is it going to be like a terrible outcome that we can expect out of it? That
Don't worry. The child don't sit in front of the TV.
yeah.
Then why? Because the child is free to leave the TV. They are alone in the house or where the place. So there is no teacher to compel the child. Eh?
Yeah, it's already being happening that children are getting engaged a longer period than what is probably prescribed or however, but a teacher is not able to grab the attention, as we already have discussed here. I don't want to mention the points again and again. It's so as you told, 100%. It is so as you told. We cannot make child sit in front of something and just learn out of watching things.
It's impossible.
So,
it is out of question.
I think that it's
I tell you, there is a study by this Chennai IIT regarding online classes. Nobody in the engineering, this IIT, they are not sitting utilizing that potential. Earlier, because of interest, because they are get bored and they actually everybody be part of that. Now slowly, children start withdrawing. That is the case of that IIT, and many studies are there throughout the world. There are enough and more studies. There is no need of further studies.
So there is one thing that we need to understand, that nothing is going wrong if at all the curriculum based teaching doesn't happen this time. Am I right?
There is no right and wrong.
Just learn out of the creative aspects and the possible environmental resources.
Don't bother about that. Because
nothing will happen.
Nothing will happen. If COVID will be increasing day by day, I don't feel that this year we can have a regular academic year. Don't quote me, but I don't believe that there will be a regular academic year. So nothing will happen. Our children will be in future. They will. It won't be. It is at this juncture. It is a long duration, but in their whole life, it is a very short duration. Don't bother about this.
CR, can I ask a question?
Oh.
CR, we have seen that in private schools, several of the private schools, that this there is already been online classes are going on in various places. We have spoken to some parents about what they think and students also. So I just wanted to ask you that, do you feel that there is if the government does not or different governments don't clearly tell these ideas that how teachers, how they value teachers, how they engage with, how they want to see this coming 5 to 10 months, do you think there is a danger that some places the enrollment in government schools would go down because anxious parents would try and give it to try and enroll the children in private schools like that?
That we can here our experience here also, all the private schools have actually started this through this Zoom platform, and there are so many platforms for taking classes. Kerala experience, I am saying, it is not possible to generalize and fit for all the country, the whole part of the country. Here, there is, because of many reasons, most probably the economic reason also, most probably, that I am not, it is not a time to judge things. There is a heavy flow towards the common school system. Even in Ernakulam, now the enrollment is just started. At this juncture, more than 12,000 children, they came to this general stream from this unaided structure. Because Ernakulam, Thrissur, most of the people are the middle class. So the middle class families itself, there is a clear visible shift is there. In my district, in Kasaragod, it is nearly 13,000 already now. So there is a shift. Even in all the private schools are having these kind of tuition classes and all these kind of nonsenses they are doing. Even then, there is a shift. That is not merely educational reason, because of various other factors are also functioning. People don't, this displacement, the major issues are there. So don't bother too much about, for me, according to me, don't bother too much about this private school. How at least a teacher once in a week have in one way or in another way have some contact to their children and share the love and affection, that itself is more than anything, according to me. I am actually telling my teacher friends, because use in the night, call the child through the mother or father, just ask, how are you? Don't bother. We are all together and take care. This is the best learning than anything in front of the TV. So that itself will give some kind of a confidence for the child, and the child will feel that the teacher is recognizing me. That itself is a recognition. And in Adivasi areas, what we are doing is once in a week, 1 or 2 teachers, they will go to their residence and just have said that, okay, how are you? Fine. But this actually have a very big impact in Kerala society, because parents are now talking that, look, the teachers of the government system, they are actually at least inquiring about our children. For me, this is the best investment through which we can get to the thing.
One more question just on this. So what is generally the Teachers Association's reaction in Kerala? I mean, how are Teachers Association reacting?
In Kerala, one of the Teachers Association actually burnt a government order. When the CM requested that you have to give 1 month's salary, not as a contribution, that we will give back to you. To address the health need, we don't have money. The central government is not giving any money to the state government. So they requested, and the government decided that through 6 installment, they will get them. And after that, this money will be given back when the state exchequer is somewhat fine. After COVID, that we don't know at what juncture. But anyhow, it will be returned to the employees. And one set of teachers and categorically political friendly people oppose that step. Now the teachers can't do anything because of that. The teachers' moral, it has actually affected the teachers. There's a small group, but that small group actually make the whole teachers' family into a defensive mode. So teachers are not, any of the teachers associations are not opposing the government's thing, because parents are, and because this middle class minded parents, they want some kind of an engagement for the children. So the community is strongly supporting to these ventures. So that is a fear factor for we people, because then that is why we are always saying that the CM is again and again saying that this is not the alternative of formal schooling. When school starts, we will start from the beginning itself. If you don't see the lessons, don't bother about that. These kind of things, in every day press conference, the CM once in a week he'll tell that this is not an alternative. This is just, we are utilizing this potential in that way. So what I feel is that if we work for the basic class, it will one way or another way, it will have its own impact into the opinion creators and the elite class. Leave the elite class. Don't bother too much about them. We have to, because we are a small group and we have enough and more children in the field actually. Because in Karnataka, the government's stand is very clear. Because the BJP stand in Educationist is very clear. Through this draft policy, national policy, they have put everything clear. And now the government want to establish a school inside the TV. That is why 12 TV channels, etc., is coming. These are the realities. We have to oppose that. Only through by mobilizing people, by supporting them at this period of difficulty.
ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ C Ramakrishnan
solve all the issues within 1.5 hours. So I think some kind of a discussion, this kind of a discussion should you have to continue, and you must develop a long term as a short term as a crisis management plan for Karnataka.
Yeah, sure. ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸಿ ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣನ್ ಅವರು ಈ ಪ್ಯಾಂಡಮಿಕ್ ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಥ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮಗೆ ಕೇರಳದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. I thank Dr. C Ramakrishnan for this opportunity to have this kind of seminar or discussion with you. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಭಾರತ್ ಜ್ಞಾನ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ ಸರಣಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಈಗ ಉದಯದ ಒಂದು ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ನ ಮುಗಿಸೋಣ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವಜ್ರ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು BGVS ನ 10ನೇ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು. ನಾಳೆ 11ನೇ ಸೆಮಿನಾರು, ಅದು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಸಂವಾದದ 2ನೇ ಭಾಗ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಾವು ಹಿಂದಿನ ರವಿವಾರ ಒಂದು ಸಂವಾದವನ್ನ ಆಯೋಜಿಸಿದ್ವಿ. ಈ ಬಾರಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಸಂವಾದದಲ್ಲಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಕೃಷ್ಣಪ್ರಿಯ ಅವರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದಷ್ಟು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸುವ ಹಾಗೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಮಕ್ಕಳ ನೇರ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ. ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳುವುದೇ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ, ಉತ್ತರಗಳಿಗಿಂತ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಕೃಷ್ಣಪ್ರಿಯ ಅವರು ಅಜೀಂ ಪ್ರೇಮ್ಜಿ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹಾಗೂ ಅವರು ಪರಿಸರ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಜ್ಞ ಕೂಡ. ಅವರು ಈ ತರ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ನಂತಹ ಮಹಾಮಾರಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸಾಂಕ್ರಾಮಿಕ ರೋಗಗಳು ಹೇಗೆ ಹರಡುತ್ತಿವೆ, ಅವಕ್ಕೂ ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಪರಿಸರ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಬಗೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಆ ಹರಡುವಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಪರಿಸರ ಹೇಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ, ಈ ತರದ ಸಂಗತಿಗಳನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆ ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಾಳೆ 10:30ಕ್ಕೆ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸ್ಬೇಕೆಲ್ಲರೂ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ತಮ್ಮ ನೋಂದಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಆ ನೋಂದಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಳಿಸಲಾಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್.
So thank you all.
Thank you.